Hello, my name's Andrea Coleman and I am going to demonstrate for you on this online tutorial how to make this mushroom kit. It's my newest kit and there's 3 mushrooms in it. There's this mushroom, there's the medium-sized mushroom and the small-sized mushroom. There's everything you need in it, including this knitted fabric that I've specially commissioned for the doors on the mushrooms. Also, it's ideal for illuminating with a LED candle. That's not included in the kit. In your mushroom felt making kit, you will find instructions, templates, pure merino pre-felt for the spots on your mushrooms, olive oil soap flakes, merino yarns to decorate your mushroom, thin plastic bubble wrap, and unique to Artfelt, I've specially had this knitted up pure lamb's wool for the doors, and you've also got some silk for the inside of your windows and silk fibres. Also you have pure merino fibres to actually make the fleece to make your mushrooms. The first thing we need to do is divide your fleece into 3 piles for the 3 different mushrooms. If you have digital scales, you can use the guide that I have got on the instructions. If not, follow this method. So we're going to pull your fibres apart, and so even if you're using your digital scales, don't use scissors. So keep your hands far apart and divide in half. And then divide that in half again. So we've got 4 bits. So now I've got 4 groups, and now I'm going to add half of this, one of the groups, to one end, and that will be your big mushroom over here, and then you can put a small amount in the middle mushroom. We've got a little bit left over. So big, medium, small mushroom. Using the template, I have cut out the largest circle for the mushroom cap. I've divided the brown into 3 equal amounts, and now I'm going to cover the template with a thin layer using this by trapping and pulling the fibres out from underneath. I'm going to cover the whole template like this. I've covered the template with a thin layer of the brown fleece. I've now quarter turned it, and I will just repeat exactly what I've done before. Be careful when you trap and pull your fibres that you lift your wool up so you don't pull away what you've just done. Don't worry about any overhanging fibres, they'll be helpful later on. It's all part of the process. Now I've completed my second layer. With the remaining bits of fleece, I'm now going to go round like the spokes of a wheel. I'm now going to introduce a little bit of the pale beige yarn as well to this. Now I've completed the 3rd layer, I am going to soak it with the warm soapy water. Your instructions are on the template how to make it up. start from the middle and get it quite wet, and then use your thin plastic, place it on top, and with your hands press down and the water will move to the edges. I've been patting this down for about a minute, and now I'm going to turn the whole lot upside down like that. I'm going to peel off the bubble wrap, and I'm going to fold in all these edges. You can use your thin plastic to help you. I've just smoothed in all the edges, and you can make sure that it's nice and tight to the resist. And now I'm going to repeat what I just did using the red. This is layer 1, and I'm going to quarter turn it and do layer 2. I've completed layer 2, and now I'm going to repeat layer 3 as though I'm going round in spokes of a wheel. I've completed my third layer, and I've cut out my spots from the pre-felt in the kit. I'd suggest you don't put them too close together, and also make sure they're not too on the edge of your resist. I've put my spots on, and I'm going to get it wet, and I'm going to put the thin plastic sheet on top just as we did before, and if they move you can just adjust things. After patting for about a minute, I'm now going to put the bubble wrap on top with the bubbles facing down and turn everything over. So you've now got the brown under here. Now, this is completely optional. What I have done is I've trimmed round the edge of the red. You don't have to do this. So get yourself a sharp pair of scissors if you want to do that. So I've cut around the edge of the red. It's about 1 centimetre away from the resist, and now I'm going to fold those edges in. You can use your thin plastic to help lift them up, and take your time to make sure it's really nice and tight to the edge. Once you've folded all your edges in, if you screw up your other piece of thin plastic and gently stroke all the edges towards the centre. I've been stroking these edges for about a minute, and now I'm going to turn the whole thing over, leaving the bubble wrap behind and placing the mushroom cap on top. And I want to now pat this down for 5 minutes. I've patted this down for 5 minutes, and now I'm going to add some soapy water, and you might have to hold on a bit, but I'm going to rub for 1 minute in this direction. Don't worry if your thin plastic moves like this has. So we're going to do a minute like this, and then we'll quarter turn and do a minute in this direction like that, and then a third minute in this direction, and then finally another minute in this direction, and then we'll check and see how strong your mushroom is. So I've rubbed for 4 minutes in total, and now I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to repeat exactly what I've just done on the brown side. Patting for 5 minutes and rubbing for 4. I have patted and rubbed this on the brown side now as well, and it's all fused together. The sides have fused, it's feeling nice and strong. If yours doesn't feel like this after doing the rubbing and the patting, just repeat the rubbing on both sides but put a lot more pressure on it. We need to get it a bit more shrunk, so what I suggest we do is we can now rub on the bubbles directly, any which way you like this, and also we can roll it up and roll it on your bubbles as well. And again, all different ways, and you will see, can you see already it's pulling the resist in. I've rubbed it and rolled it, and you can see it's shrunk down quite a bit. You can compare it with your original template. Now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to cut it open so that we have the hole for the stalk to go into eventually. I've pinched it and now I'm going to cut like that, open it out, you can see, and then I can just go in across like that, and then you can cut in between if you like. And I know this looks really small, but it will open out. So then we can twiddle the edges a bit with your fingers, and then we can turn it over and rub it onto your bubble wrap. Make sure that it's very wet. It's worth damping down again. I've turned it upside down and I'm just rubbing those raw edges to seal them on the bubble wrap. Now I'm going to turn it over and pull out the resist. It should come out quite easily. And there you have got it. You can now rinse your mushroom and we can go on to the stalks.